Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Hannah, and in today's video we are going to be talking on ways to make your kitchen feel a little bit more organic and how we can incorporate some new things into your space to make it feel a little bit more cozy. So if this is something you are interested in watching, just keep on watching. Like I mentioned in today's intro, we are going to be breaking down ways and things to do to your space in your kitchen to make it feel a little bit more organic, cozy, and curated. So if you are new to my channel, I live in a tract home, which is basically a builder grade home. And with that, we have an all white kitchen, white backsplash, gray countertops. It definitely reads a lot more stark, a little bit more cooler. And so over the years, I have incorporated a lot of different elements to my kitchen space to make it feel more cozy, a little bit softer, and definitely more organic. So I put together a list of things that I'm gonna go over with you guys today. If I can link things, they will be down below. A lot of these are vintage pieces, so they are one of a kind. But even if your style isn't vintage, you can still take this video with a grain of salt, incorporating it into your own way. Maybe, again, not the vintage items, but incorporating this kind of list of different elements into your kitchen space to make it feel a little bit more cozy no matter what your design style is. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. The first item on this list is cutting boards. This is kind of a no-brainer, and I think anybody, no matter what your style is, can incorporate cutting boards into their kitchen space. Now, cutting boards add layer to a backsplash. Sometimes those backsplash spaces can feel very flat. They can feel obviously single surface, so there's really not a lot there. But when you bring in layered cutting boards to your kitchen space, it's going to break up that tone. It's going to add depth. It's also going to add warmth to your space. No matter what your style is, no matter what color your kitchen is, adding depth to that kitchen backsplash is going to be super, super important. Now, I have multiple vintage cutting boards that I have sourced from all over, whether that's vintage shops here in San Diego, Etsy, etc. I just love vintage cutting boards. I don't use these because obviously I have no idea where they've been, but I think they add a lot of character to my space. If these type of cutting boards don't appeal to you, you can always bring in different cutting boards from, say, Home Goods, Target, Walmart, whatever your cup of tea is. They have so many different cutting boards nowadays. I recommend bringing in multiple, so layering your cutting boards and bringing in different shapes. So maybe you have a rectangular type cutting board paired with a circular. It's gonna add visual interest to your kitchen space. So again, no matter what your style is that you enjoy, bringing in multiple type of cutting boards, different shapes, ones that are big, ones that are small, and even mixing your textures is going to bring a lot of character to your kitchen. So what I mean by textures and material, you could have a couple of different cutting boards, maybe they're in wood, different shapes, and then pairing in maybe a marble cutting board, maybe a marble cheese board that's a little bit smaller, again, for that visual interest aspect. So definitely lean into your cutting boards to bring that depth, that character, that warmth to your space. Another element to adding in for our organic kitchen is a live factor. Now, there are two ways that I have brought in that live factor to my kitchen. One is herbs and two is a little potted olive tree. Now, in my garden, I have a handful of herbs from purple basil, regular basil, thyme, rosemary, you name it. I have it in my garden. I love just clipping from that, bringing it into my kitchen for the smell factor, for obviously dinner purposes, and just really enjoying the outdoors in my indoor space. You can always pick these up from like Home Depot, Lowe's, even Trader Joe's has a lot of really great herbs to choose from. So you could bring a little potted herb pot to your kitchen space, pick off a little basil for dinner, and it really brings a beautiful organic touch to your kitchen space. Now, playing off of the Trader Joe's, the next piece that I've brought in recently are these really cute olive trees from Trader Joe's, priced at like $10.99. These are a great little thing to add if you love that organic feeling. They have just kind of a very minimal look to them, and I have been really enjoying them in my space. I ended up kind of taking the pot down, placing some Spanish moss on the top, and placing that little olive tree in one of my clay pots, and it has been such a great little aspect to my kitchen space. It also breaks up all of the white. We're bringing in a green factor, which is nice. It is alive, so it is fun to have something that is just a little bit different than all of my other faux items in my house. And obviously I do take those out of their pots, water them, and give them sunlight about every other couple days. So definitely be on the hunt at your local Trader Joe's. But bringing in herbs or some sort of greenery to your kitchen space will definitely add that organic feeling. Texture is going to be a beautiful element to add to your kitchen space. There's a couple of different ways that you can bring that texture through. Now, I have brought in it mostly through my counter stools, which I know is not going to be for everybody. I added these woven counter stools to my kitchen a few years ago, and they really did help break up all of the white tone. So if you have woven accessories, that's another way that we can bring in that texture. like through trays. So having a really beautiful oversized tray on your kitchen island, or even if you don't have a kitchen island, bringing in a woven tray to the perimeter of your kitchen space is definitely going to bring that texture aspect. Another way we can bring it is through baskets. So maybe having a fruit basket, having something that holds all of your goodies that have that texture and that warm feeling. And then lastly, I recently picked up this woven trivet from Amazon and I have been loving it in my kitchen space. It is obviously very useful. I use it all the time when making my kids their lunches, but I also love just having it either styled on my countertops or having it hanging off of one of my drawer pulls. It just, again, adds another little layer, that other little unexpected element to this space, and definitely brings in that organic touch. Cooking books are the next item on this list, and man, have I really gotten into cooking more in my space. With my garden, with having all of my herbs and fresh veggies, I really have been getting super into making home cooked meals here in my space, and so I have picked up a lot of cooking books recently. Now, I think cooking books are not only functional, obviously from a recipe standpoint, but they also play a huge part in decor when it comes to your kitchen. They add layer, they add visual interest, they add color depending on the spine. Now, typically, my rule of thumb is I go for something that is a little bit more neutral because those books are going to play a huge role in the overall look and feel of your kitchen. So I will lean towards things that have a little bit more of a neutral spine, things that are going to play nicely with already the existing items there. Obviously, the books do need to align with your eating habits, so definitely keep that in mind too. But I love cooking books. I think this is a great way to add texture, layer, and obviously all the things to your kitchen space. You can style them vertically against the side of a wall. You can also use them open with a really beautiful recipe shown. There's so many different ways you can incorporate cooking books as decor and as another element and layer to your kitchen space. Some of my favorite places to shop for cooking books are HomeGoods and Amazon. You cannot go wrong, and they're typically fairly inexpensive, anywhere from $20 to $30 in price. So definitely add cooking books to your kitchen space. Textiles. I think this is a really important thing to add to this list. Textiles can be incorporated in different ways. I'm gonna be highlighting floral tea towels. I love floral print, as you guys know, and I really enjoy bringing pattern and print to my kitchen space. So I have that through a variety of different tea towels. Not only do I use them as decor, they are functional for drying your hands off. Another way I've added textiles to my kitchen space is obviously my kitchen runner, but when you are playing with your textile, make sure that all of your tones correspond with one another. So for example, I have a really fun runner from McGee & Co that has more of that earthier tone, the greens. So the tea towels that I bring into my kitchen space definitely play off of the earthier tones within that rug. So you definitely want all of the tones to be in harmony with one another. You don't want to have one rug being a certain color, your tea towels being different colors through your kitchen books. It's definitely going to create more of a chaotic look. So if you want that harmony, make sure you're paying attention to your colors as well when it comes to not only the decor, the textiles, your rugs, the textures. This is all going to be something that is going to add that organic feeling, and also things that are going to make it feel soft and welcoming and inviting to your kitchen space. The second to last item on this list, which I feel like is the most important, so if you're gonna take anything away from this video, no matter what your style is, this is the main key point that I want everybody to pay attention to, and that is material. Mixing different material in your kitchen space is going to make it feel so much better, so much more curated, collected, different, and honestly, visually interesting. So when I say material, try mixing in marble, stone, wood, clay, whatever that looks like to you. Get creative with mixing those type of materials. Now try to stay away from having the same material all the way throughout. So don't pair white marble with white marble with white marble. It's going to read very stale and it's going to be kind of lackluster and boring. So definitely lean into bringing in different material items. Now, ways that I have incorporated different materials into my kitchen space: I have a stone bowl with fruit in it. I have a stone tray that has all of my essentials when it comes to cooking. I recently brought in an all glass cutting board that I have paired with some of my cooking books. I recently just purchased an all marble lamp to my space. I have the wood cutting boards, I have wood trays. So I really lean into this element when it comes to my kitchen space, and honestly throughout my home in general, is bringing in different material and mixing and matching them for a really beautiful, curated, and organic look. All right, and the last way to bring in that organic feeling is through decor. Now obviously with a kitchen, we want it to be functional, but there are ways that we can kind of bring in different elements to make it feel a little bit more interesting, but still practical within our kitchen spaces. Now, a few things that I have done recently to bringing in some decor. I have these incredible marble pairs that I source actually from Australia that have this vintage feel. They bring in warmth, they bring in a different material, which is marble. And so they also play off of the kind of kitchen feel. So you can bring in kitchen type decor to your space if your kitchen allows for it. Obviously, I'm not asking you guys to clutter up your kitchens and having decor everywhere, but having it be minimal when it comes to decorating your spaces. Another way that I have brought in decor to my kitchen is little artwork. This is something that I have done recently and I really enjoy it because it's multifunction for me. If you know me, you know that I cannot stand outlets. And so I do my very best to mask them when I'm not using them. And so what I've done recently is I picked up a really cute little framed piece of artwork from Lux Co with a little olive stem. So it does play into my kitchen space. And then I've hung it actually to cover up one of my outlets. So this has been something that adds visual interest. It adds a layer to my backsplash, but also is functional with hiding some of those outlets that I personally just don't like looking at. Another thing that I've added to my space is preserved garlic. This is something that I also have recently just done and I love this look. I have it hanging off of my cutting board. So it's another layer to my cutting boards, but it brings in that organic feel. You could bring regular garlic to a little bowl if you wanted. And there are obviously plenty of other ways that we can bring decor into our spaces. A lamp to have a little bit of ambiance to break up everything else in your space. You have other elements like little bowls to house maybe some of your essentials when it comes to cooking. So definitely being mindful of the type of decor that you bring into your space to make it feel a little bit more organic, interesting, and curated. So that is the last item on ways to make your kitchen feel a little bit organic and cozy. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this short list of ways that we can incorporate some new items into our spaces to make it feel organic, cozy, curated, and collected. Even though it is a kitchen, it's still an extension of our home. It is honestly probably the space we spend the most time in our homes. And so we can definitely still make it feel cozy, organic, and curated without it being overdone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this list and got some ideas for your own spaces. But until the next video, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.